Yes, indeed, folks, you're tuning to Blue Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. Yes, indeed. Right, let's have a little bit of a chat, shall we? But first, a quick warning. The next 15 minutes contain rampant spoilers in possibly every respect. In fact, I might even, if I can find it, actually have a drop-in for this that I've stolen. I wonder where it is. I wonder if I do actually have it. Maybe. They hide it. It's very unfortunate. I actually stole all the Voxel and the Horlax drop-ins, as you might be aware. They've disappeared into the depths of my hard drive. I have them right here, but I can't find the one that I'm looking for. Which, of course, would be Pottergate. Oh well, never mind. I'm sure we can do without it. There will be spoilers in these next 15 minutes. If you do not like the fact that there are going to be spoilers, I would strongly suggest, if you're listening to the podcast, that you skip forward 15 minutes. Or if you are listening live, you turn your sound down for 15 minutes. May I also preface this with saying this. Everything that I'm about to say and the information that I'm basing this on could be entirely wrong. Potentially. This is posted on the front page of MMOchampion.com, and you are getting a link in the IRC channel if you are there, and if you're not, then what the hell have you been doing for the past hour or so? irc.mmoirc.com, # WoW Radio, alternatively click the chat button at the top of the screen on wcradio.com. You can be in there, you can get involved. You can be social. You have the opportunity to do so. Instead of being a sad loner in a little cave. This may all be wrong. Having said that, it is my understanding that the person who runs MMO Champion, who is colloquially... I can never say that. Let's stop trying to use long words, Total Biscuit. Who is often known as Bibi, or Boobel, whichever he prefers, has a source within inside Blizzard. That is obvious to anyone reading these posts, because here's the thing about telling lies. You have to have a really, really stupid audience to continually get away with telling lies, particularly when you are a news source. There is, I can think of one site that gets away with it, but then again, yeah. Let's not go into that. This site, on the other hand, MMO Champion, is generally right, which indicates to me that if they have this information on hand and they are willing to post it on the front page, that they have a source inside Blizzard, and I'm sure Blizzard is working very hard to find out who that is. And it will be most amusing when that person is found. However, in the meantime, they seem to be safe from prying eyes. So let's talk about it. This is about Cataclysm. The claim is this, that Cataclysm is the new expansion for World of Warcraft, and there are a myriad of details that have been posted on the front page of MMO Champion, including stuff that we already knew, like the Goblins and the Worgen are going to be new races. Do we care? No, because new races aren't real content. And there will be new class and race combinations, which are sure to get all of the lore hounds very, very upset, like Night Elf Mages and Troll Druids? Troll Druids? Seriously? Gnome Priests, Tauren Priests, and a Tauren Paladin of all things. Tauren Priests, wow, yeah, that would work. Cow in a dress, hell yeah. Undead Hunters. Yes, they're well known for being incredibly stealthy with the jangling bones, and of course you can't smell them from 5 miles away. They'll be very effective hunters. Dwarf Shaman. They summon the 5th element, which is beer. Blood Elf Warriors. Yes, those scrawny bastards can lift a sword, really. Dwarf Mages. Again, probably too drunk to remember the appropriate incantations. Night Elf Mages, which I thought were against some background lore RP lol thing. Orc Mages. What? Orc Mages? Seriously? And Human Hunters. Which I can sort of understand. Now, they're giving these to us for what reason? I can't think of one. Honestly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to brand it. I'm going to brand it the same way that I branded Goblins and Worgen. It's not real content. Stop trying to encourage us to roll alts. I don't want to. What worries me more is, in fact, that the level cap has only been increased to 85. Now, usually I wouldn't complain about this because leveling sucks. However, what it indicates to me is that they want people to go and play the content again. Yes, again. As in they want to roll alts. It's like, roll some alts, do some more questing. I don't want to do any questing, because questing is terrible! So is leveling in every possible way. I only care about raiding and the occasional piece of PvP. Why should I have to do all of this rubbish? Don't encourage me to do that. So yeah, the idea is to make leveling a new race appealing for new and existing players alike. You failed. Here's the thing, right? Those who actually care enough to level a new character have already done so. They don't need encouraging. Those who have not are not going to be swayed by the idea that they can roll an undead hunter, of all things, an undead hunter. Or a goblin mage, or whatever the blinking heck is, or, or the furry race. The Alliance did a furry race too, I suppose I can be pretty happy about that. We can get some of the furries off to the Alliance side. That'll be good. I was running out of fire to purge them with. Now, here's the really interesting thing. Apparently, Classic Azeroth is gonna get revamped. Oh yes, it's gonna get revamped. And the Cataclysm is a cataclysmic event. Shock horror. Never saw that one coming, did you? Surprising. Shocking. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna wreck everything. Which is good, because I was kind of bored of everything anyway. Now, it's funny, because didn't I say a good few months ago that it was extremely likely that a future expansion, perhaps even the next one, would include areas of Azeroth revamped and updated with phasing technology? Did I, in fact, say that? Yes, in fact, I did. Did I, in fact, say this before MMO Champion said it? Why, yes, I did. Did I need a source inside Blizzard to predict that this would happen? No. No, I didn't. Why? Because I have special powers. Epic. Wrong button. There we go. Special glass-shattering powers. I shatter the veil of reality to see into the future. Well, that or if you throw enough things at a wall, some will eventually stick. Whatever. It's all good. Yes, I did predict this. Obviously I did. You heard it months ago. I'm sure you remember. I don't remember which episode it was, but I'm sure one of the enterprising listeners will go find it. Now, here's the things which are apparently going to be happening. The Barons will be split into two separate zones of two different level bands. Oh, do I still have my Hallelujah drop in? Please tell me that I do. It must be here somewhere. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Actually, no. Why don't you just drown the entire place? Turn it into a big lake. A marina. Seriously, let me go out on a yacht for 20 levels. That would be nice. So yeah, that's going to happen to the Barons. Ashara is going to become a low-level zone. Good, because Ashara sucked anyway. Who the hell wanted to go there? Some of the zones like the Thousand Needles will be flooded. Excellent. Do I get boats? Do I get a dinghy? Please tell me I get a dinghy. I want a dinghy. I actually want a pirate ship as well. Pirate ship and a dinghy. A pirate ship with a dinghy. A pirate ship in a dinghy. Could you face it? No, you couldn't. You would be too stunned by the fact that the pirate ship fit inside the dinghy and then broadside. Boom! You'd be gone. Yes, indeed you would. You would have no chance. Make your time. What am I saying? Anyway, Durotar is apparently getting wrecked, and Orgrimmar could be destroyed. Great, never liked the place anyway. A new Orc City will be rebuilt over the course of the expansion. Does that mean I have to hang around in Undercity now? Yeah. I suppose I could deal with Thunderbluff. That'll be alright. I like Thunderbluff. So yeah, that's going to be my new home. I'm going to hang around in Thunderbluff now. Gnomeregan will be part of the expansion, as well as gnomes might, quote, might, be able to reclaim their capital. Great, we can get them out of Ironforge and out of our way. They always keep getting underfoot. Wailing Caverns will become a lush tropical area as a result of the Druid's magic. Yeah, reskin, don't care. Having seen the lush tropical molten core in the latest Snowman video, yeah. That's what really matters. The Blackrock Spire will erupt, and a new version of the Blackrock Mountains will be available. Apparently Ragnaros will be back too. Oh god! Recycling content. Dear lord. Now, this is apparently all going to be happening to make leveling better and cooler and stuff. It's not necessarily going to be happening... I'd imagine there's going to be some revisiting, let me put it that way. I'd imagine that you're going to get the opportunity as a level 80 through to 85 to revisit some of this content. Yeah, apparently most of the leveling will take place in revamped areas of Azeroth, and so too will the dungeons, allowing players to use them to level from 80 to 85. And it's saying that the redesigned Onyxia's lair is just the first step to that. Not going to go too far into that, because we're going to be talking about the revamped Onyxia's lair in the next section. But what I will say is that it seems like an awful lot of recycling. I don't necessarily object too much to that, but I always like seeing new stuff. Okay, let's face it, we're gonna see a level 80 Deadmite. It's gonna happen. People have been clamoring for it for ages. Now the question is whether or not they're actually gonna redesign everything in it and really revamp it, or they're just gonna get lazy. Because it seems to me this expansion came awfully fast on the heels of Wrath of the Lich King, don't you think? It really did. So we don't know when it's going to be out, of course. We don't know how far it is to completion, but we're on now the penultimate raid, supposedly the penultimate raid at any rate, of Wrath of the Lich King, which indicates there's going to be an expansion coming maybe within the next 8 months or so, give or take. I'd be willing to put money down on that. So that indicates that Cataclysm is fairly far on. It is perhaps a case that either they've been working on it for ages, which would explain why there's not been so much development going into Wrath content, or they're just rushing it out the door, and I certainly hope not. I'll willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, of course, until BlizzCon, until we see what's actually going to be going on with it. So, it's not going to be introducing a new continent, which means that all of you who said it's going to be the Maelstrom were wrong. No, sorry, that's what you get for trusting random things that were made up. You know, just bear in mind, these things were made up, right? The whole, we're going to be leveling through the Maelstrom thing, that was made up. That was made up like 4 years ago on the forums, and it passed into myth and legend, and then suddenly there was an urban rumour, as it were, an urban legend that came along and said, well, this is from Cadium, and this is official, and this was secret content. No, it wasn't. And of course, you're going to be able to do the flying in Azeroth, which is something that people have been wanting for ages. You've got to bear in mind, of course, that flying couldn't happen previous to a major revamp, because a lot of that content is actually a smokescreen. A lot of the things that you think are there actually aren't. Like, say, Orgrimmar. Apparently, if you flew over Orgrimmar, you'd see massive great gaps in the earth. Half of the scenery isn't really there. It's like cardboard cutout. It's like a Truman Show kind of thing. So it would be nice to see the old Azeroth actually complete again. We've got unreleased zones and dungeons. We're going to apparently be getting the present Hyjal, as well as Gilneas, which is the Worgen starting zone, and Uldum. Finally, after 4.5 years, we get Uldum. Not that I have any idea what's going to be going on in there. I just hope it's not as boring as Ulduman. That would be nice. Hyjal present could be interesting. There could be some very nifty things going on in there. So, yeah, it looks pretty cool. We've got the major characters, apparently Deathwing and Queen Ashara, which we basically knew. And there's also going to be a bunch of other cool stuff. So, I suppose it would come down to whether or not I actually care about this. Funnily enough, I think I care and I was excited more about this than I was for Wrath of the Lich King. Because this is doing something a little bit different. And while, yes, it may end up being a total horrible rehash and will put me off the game forever, it's also possible that they could really pull it out of the bag. Now, if they drastically shorten the level experience and bring in the quality of questing that you found in Wrath of the Lich King into vanilla Azeroth, then you may possibly tempt me to roll an alt. Maybe. But you've got to also bear in mind, I like my mage. I like my mage a lot. And I don't think I'm going to be rolling an orc mage. That would just be ridiculous. Certainly not a Night Elf Mage or any other such ridiculous thing. Trolls are their only true race. I say we get a Troll expansion, and all we get are Trolls in instances, and we introduce a new race called the Better Trolls, which are like better versions of current Trolls. And only the best players who've been playing Trolls for the last 4 years get to play them. There's an expansion idea for you, Blizzard. How could you possibly not love it? It's amazing. I'm Total Biscuit. This is Blue Please. This is WCRadio.com. This is Battle Metal.